Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth lesson in the Chance to Shine live series. Having covered fielding skills, batting skills in the previous sessions, we're going to complete our challenge to becoming an all-round cricketer by introducing you to Brilliant Bowler. We've got our coaching team of Joe and Rehan with us again. Give us a wave, guys. And they're going to have their pitches ready and their targets set up so that we're ready to go and get into the action shortly. We also say a massive hello to this week's Yorkshire Tea School of the Week, who are Froomvale Academy from Bristol and Gloucestershire. Give us a big wave, guys. And the great thing is we've loved being able to see how they got involved across numbers of classes. So you'll see today we've got Year 3 class and Year 4 class. So we're in the classroom and the sports hall. And we've loved seeing how many classes they've been getting involved throughout the other weeks. We also say, of course, a big thank you to our supporters at Yorkshire Tea, who will be providing bumper supplies of tea for our current and future schools of the week. We absolutely love seeing Merton Primary from last week. They've already been enjoying their tea packs. We'll remember, at the end of the session, we'll tell you about how you can get involved in that. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, let us know what school you're from in the chat bar. We'll give shout outs as always and keep bringing those messages through as the lesson goes on. So today's lesson, Brilliant Bowler, our learning objectives. We've got 3 this week, so listen carefully. Number 1, we're going to explore different throwing techniques linked to bowling. Number 2, we want to develop accuracy and knowing where to pitch the ball. And then number 3, we want to outline some tactics to help improve our team's score. You might take part as an individual today, but cricket is a team game, so we want to think with that team mindset in mind. We've got 3 activities as always. Number 1 is hit the target. Our second activity is called rapid rocket bowling. And our third activity is called star strike. We've also got a new addition today, a takeaway star challenge that we'll explain at the end for you to work on afterwards. So, what are you going to need? As always, a bit of safe space around you, and ideally somewhere where you can create a little bit of a corridor that we can bowl and throw towards our target. You'll need something to act as a ball. I'm going to be using my tennis ball for the demos, but rolled up socks, other types of ball, absolutely you can use. Be creative if you need to. I've also got a wall or a surface to rebound off afterwards. Now, if you haven't got that and you're working with someone else, you can have that person acting as a wicket keeper or catcher behind. Okay, but if you have got a wall, it's great to get that rebound back. You'll need a target to act as your stumps. I've got a wooden block. I've actually used some tape to create some stumps on there as well, but anything you can use, a dustbin, anything that you can act as a target. And finally, some small targets that you can place on the ground, and we'll explain a bit more why we're going to use those later. That can be anything like a tea towel. I think Joe's got a pillow for her section, and just some small bits. You can put socks down on the floor, so that's a small target. As we said, you can complete these activities as an individual, but if you've got a partner to work with or even a small group in your class bubble, we encourage you to connect and work hard as a team or as a pair. Remember, as always, go at your own pace. If you need to take a break, do so. Please keep a drink at hand as well. Right, we're ready to get into the action. First activity is called hit the target. I'm going to be running this one. Hopefully you've got your ball or your object and your target ready. And all we're going to do, we're just going to explore it to start off with. You've got a challenge. Okay, so start nice and close. You're going to have 2 minutes to see how many times you're able to hit your target at the end. So I'm trying to hit my stumps here. My challenge, every time I hit that target, I'm going to take a small step backwards. Okay, so your aim in the 2 minutes is to see how much distance you can keep or get away from your target. Okay, so nice and simple, balls at the ready, 2 minutes, start now. Okay, so hit the target, quick step backwards. You haven't got the space to move backwards. Think about how you can make that challenge a bit more difficult. You might make your target a little bit smaller. Joe, Rehan, how are we getting on so far? Any targets hit?
Yeah, I've hit the target a couple of times.
Yeah, my first go. It's keeping me warm as well, having to go collect my ball, then think about where I'm going back to. Good warm-up.
Brilliant. I can see our Merton Froomvale year 4s hitting that bin target, blue target.
Well,
We've got some individuals
target.
with the year 3s as well. I like that.
Yeah.
So we've got some teamwork and some individual work going on.
Some great improvisation there.
Having to be really accurate as well. It's really good to focus on that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just remember, guys, you can use whatever type of bowl or throw you want for this one. You might have seen us using an underarm one. Up to you. If you want to challenge yourself, use an overarm bowl if you're confident enough to do that. Absolutely.
If I'm making it harder and you've got stumps, I'm going to take mine down to just 2 stumps, I think. We'll see how that works.
Like that, Joe. So every time you hit one, are you going to make that target a bit smaller?
I'm going to try, see if I can get all the way down to just hitting the base.
Yeah, that's a good, very difficult, challenging that.
And just a few shout outs as always. We've got Glade Primary on board, Preston Primary, the Grasshopper class, Sharman's Cross, Bridge Junior, St Peter's in Leatherhead, Godolphin, Ling Bob, Robin Hood. So great that we've got more schools coming back again. Moseley Secondary School, Hazelwood Academy and St Edmund Campion. Brilliant stuff, guys. Right, so that was our first activity. Like we said, you can use any type of bowl that you want to. We used an underarm one for that. If you've got the confidence to go overarm already, please do. But we're going to explain a bit more about overarm bowling later. We're going to move that task on a little bit now. Okay, we're going to go back very shortly, have another go at it. So our end target, of course, is still in play, our stumps. But this time we've also got our target, our landing area on the floor. So you'll see here I've got my socks and my softball, created a nice little square. This time, in order to get my target achieved, I've got to bounce the ball in that area and hit the stumps at the end. Okay, so I only get to take my step back if I've managed to bounce it in and hit the stumps. Okay, so that one, actually, that was just a little bit short, so I can't go back to that next one. And that one was a little bit too far the other side, so I'm looking to land it right in the middle. Now, this time, have a little bit of a think about how we can bring some personal best into it. So how many times in the 2 minutes are you able to achieve your targets? And also have a think about how many you can get in a row. So if I hit the end, that's 1. If I do the same again next time, that's 2. See what your best in a row can be, as well as your overall number of hitting the target. Okay, 2 minutes, over to you. So, Joe, thinking about that landing area on the floor, why is that important when we're bowling in cricket?
It gives us a target and creates some accuracy. So obviously when we're aiming for it, but in the game of cricket, we're aiming to get that ball to bounce at least once before it gets to the batter. So it's bringing some realistic nature to it. What I like about your challenge is I've made my target big enough for me to have some success. Yeah.
Lovely bowling, Joe. Right through the middle and off stump. Rehan, any early simple tips for being able to hit it in the landing area and hitting the stump?
I think if you just keep your body nice and straight sort of towards your target, I think that's a really good tip. So you've got everything in balance. So if you can go straight towards your target, hopefully you'll be able to land in that area. So try and keep everything straight. I think that'll be a good tip for me.
Like that. So I'm thinking here, I've got my left foot and my left arm pointing towards that target. So I'm a right-handed thrower and bowler.
Yeah.
Hitting those stumps and then going back. Excellent stuff. So we've got about 40 seconds left, guys. See how many you can get in. What's your best run of scores? What's your personal best? Keep counting that total. Brilliant work from Froomvale as well. See you working as a team, encouraging each other. Lovely. 2 hits in a row, I can see. Excellent stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Good aiming.
Oh, well done, Chloe.
3 in a row.
Excellent, Chloe.
Well done.
So we've got some more shout outs. We've got Priory School have joined us as well. Lovely stuff. So let's see, aiming towards those targets. We've got last 5 seconds. Keep going, guys. Brilliant stuff. Right. So we're going to move on to our third activity now. So this one's a little bit different. We want to think about the different ways in which we can challenge ourselves. Now, this is all about being able to unlock the next level. So think when you might play your computer games at home. In order to progress to that next level, you've got to have that success before. So we're going to challenge ourselves here. So we've got a bit of an order by which we're going to do this. So number one, in order to step forward, you're going to choose your strong hand. So ideally, we will be good on both sides of our body. But for me, I know that my right arm is my throwing and bowling arm. So in order to achieve level one, I've got to use my strong arm, strong hand, hit the target underarm. So I'm going to land it in and hit the stumps. If I'm able to achieve that, I've then got to achieve level two. So level two is using that same arm, but I've got to make sure I hit in the target, hit the stumps afterwards. So the first one, we don't have to bounce it in. If you can, great. That's level two. Once you've achieved level two, on to level three, which is to use your other arm. So I will then use my left arm and try and get that in. Level four, use your left arm, bounce it once. And we've got level 5 and 6 that we've explained, which is an overarm bowl. So once you've done underarm, we can move on to overarm. Now, if you're able in the 2 minutes to achieve all the way up to level 6, then it's over to you to be creative. You need to think of a challenge for level 7 that is more difficult than the one you did before. Okay, so this is about building up your skills, making that challenge harder, get used to going both sides of the body. Doesn't matter how far you get, just try your best to see how far you can. Right, 2 minutes again, over to you. So Rehan and Joe, those 2 tips that you just gave there, I found when I tried with my left hand, I really had to focus on those to work really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite difficult using your opposite hand.
So Rehan, why do you think it might be helpful to use our other hand?
Well, for bowling?
For bowl, for fielding, so thinking about those fielding accuracy skills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because when we're playing in cricket, so when the ball comes to us, it won't always come to our strongest hand. It might come to our opposite hand, so our weaker hand as well. So if we can practice using both hands, so when the ball does come to us in the field, we're ready and we've practiced for it. So when it does come, we're able to release the ball more comfortably.
Love that, being able to move both sides of the body. So rather than having to move around, really important. That's I like that. Good little tip. Joe, anything from you for being able to use left and right arm?
I think it's just like all sports, isn't it? When you're practicing, to use both sides is really important. So football, you try and use both feet. And just like Rehan says, when you're fielding, you're going to end up going right or left. So having good, strong muscles on both sides is really helpful.
Brilliant. And I find actually it really helps me focus on the learning points as well, because I know with my weaker hand, I've got to get that bit right because I'm learning it for the first time. So last few seconds, guys, we've had King's Academy in Binfield have joined us. St John's in Derbyshire. Welcome aboard, guys. So keep trying, get as far as you can, see how many levels you can get to, and it'd be lovely to hear what you've created for your level 7 as well if you got there.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. So well done, everyone. Hopefully you managed to make some progress there, and it'd be lovely in the chat bar if you were able to tell us about how you got creative as well, if you were able to get beyond level 6. Remember, if you created your own level 7, you can still go beyond that as well. Okay, limitless options, really. Think about how you can challenge. Right, we're going to move on to our next task now. So this is rapid rocket bowling. Rehan's going to take this one, and we're going to start to learn about our overarm bowling skills. Rehan, over to you.
Thank you, Ian. Great first session there. So we're really warmed up. Hopefully we're all warmed up. So as Ian mentioned, we're going to be doing rapid rocket bowling. So now we're going to focus on bowling overarm, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all to get into a star shape. So like that. So open your arms, the star shape. So have your legs a little bit spread out, not too much, in a comfortable position in a star shape. I want us to practice going round with our arm We're not going to let go of the ball yet. We're just practicing going round with our arm. Right? So I'll show you from this way. Right. So then once we can be able to practice that, it's important to keep our arms straight. So when we are doing overarm bowling, it's important to keep it straight, because if we bend it, it becomes a throw and it doesn't become a bowl in cricket. So if we just try and remember to keep our arms straight. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we also gave a good tip in regards to keeping your arms straight and keeping it closer to your ear. So that helps towards accuracy as well, right? So what I'm going to ask you to do now for the next 2 minutes is just practice bowling overarm, right? So if you're in a group like from Vale are, what I want you to do is take one ball, have a turn, and then go to the back of the line, and then everyone just rotate around and keep your own ball with you, right? So you've got 2 minutes, off you go. Practice overarm.
I read once, gents, that actually overarm bowling was invented by ladies, because many years ago when they played cricket, they used to lift their skirts. So overarm bowling was actually invented by women.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we're getting a bit of a history of cricket lesson as well as learning the techniques here.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I can't remember where my source was, but I'm pretty sure it was ladies who invented it.
Right.
Oh, I've definitely heard that one as well. So Rehab with mine, I haven't got loads of space to practice overarm, so I've got the soft ball out and I'm bowling it towards the wall, just so I can get used to getting that star shape and keeping my arm up nice and high.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, same as me, I don't have much space, so if you can see, I've opened my door to try and give me a little bit more space. So just trying to give us a bit more room to sort of free our arms. So keep practicing, everyone. Keep going.
Lovely to see Froome practicing our overarm bowling now, just so a hit on the target, keeping that arm nice and straight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So remember bringing it over our head.
Schools with us. We've got Upton St Leonard's, Bluecoat School. We've got Dorchester Middle. Lovely to hear about people who are challenging themselves as well. So Heba Zaidi got to level 6 in the last challenge.
Wow.
Matisha Raja level 5. We've got Yavna School on board. Well done, guys, for challenging yourself in that last activity. So I've got about 20 seconds left here, so keep practicing. Get those arms up high.
2 minutes go so quickly.
Yeah, remember keeping that arm straight. Last few seconds. Right, brilliant. Well done, everyone. So hopefully there we've managed to do some overarm bowling, and we've had quite a few goals in 2 minutes. Right, okay, so for the next part of the activity, what we're going to do is we're going to set a bit of a personal challenge. So if you can see here, I've set up my wicket. So similar to Ian, because I'm doing it from home, what I've done is I've set a chair and I've put some tape markings as a wicket. So you can all see that there. So that's going to act as my wicket. So what I've also got is a few cones on the floor and created a target, right? Similar to what Ian did in his session. So what I want us to do now for the next 2 minutes is to try and bowl overarm to land the ball in the target and hit the wicket. So the personal best, I want us to count how many times we can get the ball into our landing area and hitting the wicket. So if we get it in our landing area, I want you to score yourself 1 point. And if it hits the wicket, that's 3 points. So if we hit the landing area plus the wicket, that's a total of 4 points, right? So if you're in a group, what I want you to do, once you've had your turn, you go around and the next person goes. So in your group, in 2 minutes, let's see what's the highest score you can get. So remember, 1 point for hitting the target, 3 points for hitting the stumps or your target. So 4 points maximum you can get from one ball, right? So even if you're doing it on your own, it's still the same. You keep going, try and see how many times you can get it hitting the target and onto your wicket. I want you to count your scores. If you've got a piece of paper, you can write it down, or somebody can keep count, right? So you've got 2 minutes. Let's see how many points you can get in these 2 minutes. Right, off you go.
Brilliant stuff, Ray, and I absolutely love that, because what we've got there, we've got the individual challenge as alongside that team challenge as well. And for me, that's why I love cricket, because it's being an individual, developing your own personal skills, but helping the team along through making your scores even better.
That's right. Yeah, it's a team sport, you know, like most sports, team sport. So this is really good for team building and teamwork.
And Joe, thinking about back to last week when we used some of our feedback, brilliant hit on the stumps, by the way, then. What feedback can we give to our partners during this activity?
So we're looking for something they're really good at. Might be really something nice you can say, that you might say your arm was nice and straight, and maybe something they can work on. So for me, I'm always having to remember my front arm, so that star shape, keeping that front arm nice and straight as I come around. So yeah, maybe something good you could share with your teammates, and maybe something they could work on. Keep going, guys.
Brilliant. So it might be, guys, if you're working in a team, that you might be at the back of the queue. So think about how you can be helpful to your teammates by providing them feedback. So Froome Vale, we're going to challenge you here. So while you're waiting, are the others working on their star shapes? Can you give them some encouragement to get more points next time? Lovely stuff. Well done, guys. So keep helping each other along.
Yeah,
teachers are keeping score as well. That's really good. Lots of volunteers in cricket. Good. Score is a really important part. So I know we'd be lost without our scorers at our cricket clubs.
Yeah.
We've got another
I think one of the keys
we've got Overarm Primary School. We've got Hayes Lane back again. I think that's 4 weeks in a row for Hayes Lane. Welcome on board again. Kingham Primary School with us as well.
Oh, well done, Jasmine. I saw that.
Right, last couple of seconds. Keep going, everyone. And that's time. Nice. Right, well done, everyone. So again, hopefully we've had more opportunities to do some overarm bowling. So just remember, when our arms are coming round, trying to keep it straight, and then once it goes past, sort of close to your ear, past your head, should try and release the ball. Right. So hopefully we've all managed to have a lot of goals. So in the next part of the activity, the final bit, we're going to try to make it a little bit more challenging. Right. So I want you to have a think about how you can make your station more challenging. So for me, what I'm thinking about is trying to make my target smaller. So if you can see here, I've got my cones. So I'm going to try and make it smaller. So I've got my landing area is very small now, so it's quite difficult for me. It's very challenging for me now. So I want you all to have a think about how you can make it challenging for yourself. And then again, what I want us to do is try and see how many points you can get in your 2 minutes. So if you manage to beat your score from the previous round with a bigger target and manage to land it in a smaller target, that's fantastic. I want you to see if you can land it in a smaller area and hit your wicket. The same points as before, 1 point for hitting the area, 3 for hitting the stump. So 4 in total. Right. So if you do remember your targets, your total from the last round, let's see if you can try and beat it in this round. So you've got last 2 minutes, try and make your target area smaller and make it more challenging. Let's see how many points we can get either on our own or in a team. Right. Last 2 minutes, off you go.
So brilliant. We've got Sharp next on board with us as well. Some lovely scores coming through as well. So great to see so many individual scores. So well done to Rick. You managed to get 18, challenging yourself on there. Mason, 30. Amy, French, amazing. 73. 73, that's fantastic. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's got to be the highest. 2 minutes. Wow.
I like this one as well. Well, we've got an 89 as well. So it was Twinkle_Sparkle. So Twinkle, the name of the All-Stars mascot.
Ah, wow.
Love that.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll hear a bit more about All-Stars cricket in a couple of weeks, guys. That'll make sense in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
On your fours, go on through. That's excellent. Good star shape there.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, guys. So keep working. Yeah. Can we beat our team score that we got last time?
That's it, yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Brilliant. Some great bowling there, some fantastic overarm displays. Well done, everyone. Keep going.
I must have to say as well, brilliant effort from both teachers from Froome Vale, doing demonstrations, helping each other out. So teachers who are with us, you are so important for this. if you can help with those keys to success, we make so much progress. So keep up the brilliant work that you're doing if you're helping your pupils during these lessons.
Yeah.
We'll get you signed up to women's softball festivals as well, ladies. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Joey, are you picking some new players for your team?
I am. I'm keeping my eye on these.
So keep getting to get smaller, you can make that target. Keep hitting it, make it smaller, challenge yourself.
Make it smaller, challenge you, yeah, absolutely, yeah. If it's easier, maybe try and make it harder. No? Last few seconds, 10 seconds to go.
Different equipment makes it harder as well. I'm finding with the stops, I'm really having to power through, but the tennis ball is extra bouncy.
Yeah, that's a really good point, that, Joe. Yeah, really good point. Right, well done, everyone. So, hopefully, after that session, we've managed to get some overarm bowling in. We've managed to work on our technique, on our action. And just remember, trying to keep that arm straight when it goes over our head. And remember, try not to bend it, right? So fantastic, everyone. Some really great scores there and some really good bowling. I'm just going to pass you back to Ian now.
Lovely stuff. Thanks, Ryan. Love that. Took it on even further. We got ourselves nice and warmed up at the start, and then we're really focusing in now on our overarm bowling technique. So just a reminder, our learning objectives, the first one was to explore different throwing techniques linked to bowling. So we started to look at that overarm bowl skill. We also wanted to think about developing accuracy and knowing where to pitch the ball. So we started to speak about that landing area, why it's important to make it bounce before it hits the stumps. Okay, so we've looked at those two. Joe's going to take it on another step here. So as well as building on that, we're going to start to think about some tactics as well during this part of the session. So the decisions we can make to improve our scores. So our third activity is Star Strike. Joe, over to you.
Thanks, Ian. That's great. Some really good exercises already. So some of you will have your equipment set up. I'm going to go through very quickly what we mean by star cone strike now. So I've got two areas that I could use. I've got my stumps if you're looking after at school, or just like Ian said, I've got my pillow. Don't worry, I'll wash it before I go to bed tonight, which could act as a soft set of stumps. So you could lean that up against the wall there. So thanks, AJ from Cheshire Cricket Board for that idea, because it's nice and soft on those ones. Again, equipment-wise, I've got my socks, I've got my tennis balls, whatever you want to use, and I've raided the recycling tray for different things I can use to strike. So star cone strike or item strikes. I've got some toilet rolls. Remember lockdown #1, people. And obviously we've got some Cocoa Pop cereal things or yogurt pots, whatever you've got in the house that you could use. If you want to challenge yourself rather than just the cones, so maybe you've practiced at your cricket club, you might use something smaller like a 50p piece or our favourite Yorkshire tea bag. It is up to you. So there's lots of different equipment you can use. What we want to do though is we're going to set up your area, okay? So you can choose. So I'd like you to find your items, so whether it's your cones or your items, and you're going to set up your area. So I've got my stumps and I'm going to put some cones just in front, but the cones or the items are all next to each other. So it gives us lots of opportunity to be successful. It's also giving our chance to have our arms a bit of a rest because we've done lots of overarm bowling already. Okay, great stuff. I'm going to put my difficult one down in a minute. So warm up then for our cone strike, just like it says in the title of the game. You guys are going to practice by aiming to hit as many cones as you can or as items as you can. You're going to have 2 minutes. Don't worry for now, you're just going to leave them there once you hit them. I just want you to practice aiming for lots of those targets. So that star position, you might just aim for that target. Excellent. Oh, great. So I've hit my cone, just leave it there. And I'll have as many goes as I can in 2 minutes. Then we can have a little bit more detail as we go. If you're using your pillow or your items, same idea. Oh, hit my toilet rolls. Okay, you can have as many goes as you can. So your 2 minutes, guys, starts now. Go, go, go.
Love that second bowl, Joe. It was like a bit of temping bowling. That created a bit of chaos when you struck the toilet rolls.
It did, didn't it? Exactly that.
I'm just adding a few more tags.
Lovely. We've got some more individual scores from the last activity we did with Rehan. So Brooke Williams got 67, Ruby E got 28, Claire Richards 31. Well done, guys. Thanks for sharing your scores with us.
Yeah, great.
Really good scores. Yeah.
Now for this game, guys, don't worry about so much hitting the stumps. I want you just to practice striking those cones or those items in front of the stumps. I want you to get the ball to bounce.
What I'm really liking now with Froome Vale, both classes we're seeing not just the teachers helping out, but the children helping each other, giving demos to each other. Those are brilliant leadership skills, guys. Fantastic that you can do that. If you encourage each other, your team score is going to improve so much. Okay, so keep helping each other out. It's a very good skill.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're using the opposite hand now, Joe.
I am trying, but like Ian said, it's difficult. You've got to think about it.
Yeah.
Is there any way, Rehan, you could think of making this easier, maybe, if people at home are struggling?
I think making it easier, we could probably try and come a little bit closer to our sort of target, so not too much distance between yourself and your items on the floor. Or we can even do it underarm, probably slightly easier. But if you are focusing on overarm bowling, I'd probably suggest coming a little bit closer.
It's a great idea, and it doesn't matter on what you're using as a target then. Thanks, Rehan.
Yeah.
Cool. 10 seconds left, guys. Last few, see if you can use those tips.
We can even add more targets, make a bigger area.
That's exactly it. Excellent. Well done, guys. That's really good. So hopefully you've had fun striking those cones or those star targets, whichever you want to use. We're going to add a little bit now, some points, okay? We're going to challenge ourselves a little bit. We want to remember our keys to success. So our first key to success, which Rehan helped us learn earlier on, was getting into that star shape. So remembering that star shape, keeping that arm nice and straight when we bowl, okay? The next step, because you guys are brilliant bowlers already, I want you to think about that follow through. Now, follow through for me in this area means bringing that leg with it at the same time as your arm, your bowling arm. So I'm right-handed, so I might start bowling, ball in my right hand behind me. So I'm in my star shape, aim at my target, and my follow through is bringing that leg through at the same time. So I'm going towards my target. That's what I want you to practice at the next time. Okay? So keys to success, star shape starting, keep that arm nice and straight, and follow through towards your target. What I'd like you to think about is your points then, okay? If you hit your cone now, okay, so this challenge, if you hit your cone, I want you to pick it up and take it with you. That's going to act as your point. So if you get 1 point, okay, so if you hit, ooh, nearly, so I haven't hit the yellow cone, pick that up, I can put it on my stumps, or I can take it back to my tee. If I hit my cone and the stumps, I'm going to pick up 2 cones, okay? The tee, to get rid of all their cones. Oh, I missed. Oh, never mind, we'll get another go. Okay, get rid of all their cones is the winner of this round. So 1 cone, if you hit the cone, yeah, then I can put that cone onto the stumps. If I hit the cone and the stumps, I can pick up 2 cones. Oh, nearly. Imagine I've hit the stumps as well, pick up 2 and put it on. Easy peasy. Right, guys, your 2 minutes for your challenge. Okay, remember 1 point, get it on the stump, 1 cone. If you hit the cone and the stumps, pick up 2 cones. Guys, your teamwork starts now. Go, go, go.
Now, I've got to say, this is my favourite activity for practicing bowling in terms of competition, and the reason why is that you might start off with a big challenging pile of cones, which is easy to hit, but as you improve your own score and your own ability as a bowler, by taking the cones away, you make the challenge harder anyway.
Exactly. You might get that frustrating 1 or 2 cones left, just like you described as bowling before with a split pin. Oh, well done there, year 4s of Froome. I can see that practice there. Big step towards it. Well done. Good follow through.
It's that extra bonus as well, isn't it? So thinking about what. So actually, we'll ask that. Rian, why do we give 2 points for hitting the cones and the stumps or the target at the back? Why is that important that we're trying to do both?
So we're trying to do both. So if we can do that in a game of cricket, so we have more success in getting people out. So if we can practice that in our sessions, and then when we get into an actual cricket game, we'll have more success. So you get more reward of getting people out when they're bowling. I think that would be it for me.
Brilliant. So one of the ways in which we can get out in a game of cricket is called bowled when it hits the stumps.
Yeah.
And if we're bouncing it, we're making it more challenging. And if you're going to remember 2 words linked into that, classic words in cricket, line and length, the 2 L's. If you can hit the right line and land it on the right length, you're going to be in business. You're going to be brilliant bowlers for sure.
Ian, is there any way, as freehand, is there any way you can think of making it more difficult? I know you said it would be getting more difficult the less cones you have, but could you think of a way to challenge people?
Yeah, I'll go with one, Joe. So a little bit like removing the cones. What we might also do is, if you've got different targets for your stumps, you can make that target smaller as well.
That's a good idea.
I've got another one as well. So I've got my bat in with me. So imagine we've got a batter there. You're trying to avoid hitting that bat.
Excellent. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I think one thing for me as well would be, if we've got the space, maybe add a bit of a run-up.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just like you see.
Providing we have the space, add a bit of a run-up, and then bowl it through, and then keep our arms straight and follow through.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Especially this summer, I think we're going to see cricket on normal telly, aren't we? So we'll be able to watch all our role models and see how people bowl and how they create that momentum. That's a great answer. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Last challenge, and I want you to think about what Ian said earlier on about tactics. So I'm right-handed, okay? So most of my cones, you can see, have gone from the right-hand side. What I want you to think about as a team is, where were most of your cones as a team getting hit? And how could you maybe get more points? So tactically, as a team, what could you do to those cones in order to get maybe more points or more cones? So my example would be, if I'm hitting more on the right hand, I might move all my cones towards the right hand side. So that's called towards out, okay? So I might move mine all there or be tactical. But I want you to go away as your team or yourself and think about, where do you want that ball to hit? What tactics, okay, could you implore? So what tactics could you put in place to make sure you get as many points as you can, or as many wickets as you can? Okay, guys, you've got 2 minutes to go and get as many points as you can using your team tactics. What can you think of? Maybe right-hander, left-hander, up to you. Go, go, go.
Brilliant stuff. So, guys, we've got a few more shout-outs. We've got Jading, who managed to score 98 in one of our activities. We've got Lanesfield Primary School with us. We've got Barnabas from Wellingborough and St John's Ripley. Thanks, guys, for joining us today.
I mean, again, Joel, this activity just promotes teamwork. Getting your teammates to talk to each other, discussing tactics. Great way to play it as well. Outside.
Exactly.
Yeah, brilliant.
On a field, you might see your captain set your field, mightn't you, and things like that. Well, bowlers might think about what type of batter you're facing as well. Really good.
Yeah.
I know,
so,
my friend.
I've gone with that one. So I imagine on mine that I've got a left-handed batter, because not all batters would be right-handed. So I push mine over to the other side.
Excellent idea. I like that. There's lots of different types. Oh yeah, go for it, Rena. Sorry, go.
So what I've just done is, I've moved all my cones closer to the wickets for the Yorker length. So trying to aim for Yorkers.
Excellent. So Yorker means it's closer to the stumps. Is that right, Rehan?
That's right, yeah. So
Excellent.
If the batter's there, a Yorker's kind of, if it lands just before their feet.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully my friends, the Graham family, are watching and having a good bowling practice. I know they're fantastic bowlers at home. So Louis and Isla, okay, hope you're practicing your bowling really well back up in Hexham. So keep it going, because you guys are my inspiration for this practice. Last few seconds, guys. Well done, year 4. Lots of cheering going on there.
Yeah. I like the tactics there from year 3 as well. Brilliant.
Yeah, they've moved all theirs to the side. They're still putting their cones on top. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last few seconds there, guys. You're really well. Excellent. Really, really good tactics. So we've talked about maybe bowling right-hand batters or left-hand batters. You might bowl to where you're more confident. So I said more on the right-hand side. So I've put all my cones, my points on that right-hand stump there, on that off stump. Guys, you're doing really, really well. And we could think of other bowlers that you might think of. But I think, Ian, have you got one more star challenge for us to take away this week?
We have, Joe. We've got something special to show you in a little bit as well. Rehan's going to show us one of his key skills before we get into that star challenge. But just one final thing from me is, if you want to challenge and practice yourself, you can be really specific as well. So you'll notice us today, we created some stumps. You don't need to have any plastic stumps in your house. You can use some tape. You can mark some chalk outside on the wall if your parents let you do that. Also think about the distance that you might bowl from. So if you play for your school team or you play or want to play for your school team, there might be a set distance for your age group. So you can go away and research that. Just as an example, for the year 3s and 4s at Froome Vale who are with us today, your distance for your age group would be 15 yards from stump to stump. So if you wanted to be realistic, that would be your level of challenge. Okay, so if you want to do that, practice hard, then go away and explore that in your practice. So as we mentioned, we're going to move on to our star challenge. What you might do for your star challenge at home is try and think how you can create your version of a realistic cricket ball. So we haven't spoken about it today, but one thing we think about is how we actually grip that ball. And on that ball, what you've got down the middle is something called a seam. Okay, so if you're a seam bowler or a fast bowler, you might grip the ball like that with 2 fingers. If you're a spin bowler, so someone like a Sophie Eccleston, #1 bowler in women's cricket, she grips the ball across the seam and tries to spin it. If you want to create your own ball at home, you might have a couple of simple ingredients. So in our street cricket sessions, we use something called a tape ball. So all that is, tennis ball wrapped up with electrical tape. And Rehan, it's one of your special skills, isn't it, but to be able to do that? I think you can create a tape ball in about 20 seconds, you've explained before. So Rehan, do you want to show us how we create that tape ball and why we might use a tape ball?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so obviously, as you mentioned, just some electrical tape, and we're just going to wrap it around. So we're going to go all around the tennis ball and make sure we don't leave any gaps, and make sure that the tape, when it goes round, is smooth. So it does resemble a sort of a harder tennis ball. So the reason we use a tape ball is one of the first things is it's quicker. So it's quicker than a normal tennis ball, and it doesn't bounce as much as a tennis ball. So it's slightly more realistic in terms of bounce to a hard cricket ball. It's not the same. You will get more bounce from a tape ball than a hard ball, but it will bounce generally less than a tennis ball, right? So as you mentioned, so one of the things that I have done, I'm quite good at over the years, is taping a tennis ball in quick time. So I'm just going to give it a go and just try and do it as quick as I can. So remember, just trying to cover all parts of the tennis ball and trying to keep the tape smooth. So I've got my tape ready, and we're just getting it ready, and then off we go.
Go on, Rehan. I feel like I should cheer you on. Go, 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 go,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, no pressure here, Rehan. World record time on our hands here.
Yeah.
See that tape go around. Quick question, Ian and Rehan. Would sellotape work if people haven't got electrical tape at home?
And that's done.
Well done.
That was impressive. I mean, Joe, it was so fast we didn't even get a chance to answer the question, but you can give it a go, absolutely. But the electrical tape, definitely the best. So, over to our star challenge. Perfect, Rehan. Well done. That deserves a round of applause from everyone at home, if nothing else. Look at that. So, our star challenge, a new feature, something for you to go away. You've practiced all of your skills. But this week's challenge is called the top of off challenge. So, you'll need one extra item, tea bag. I'm going to place that tea bag on the top of what we call off stump. So, you've got 3 stumps, off, middle, and leg. That tea bag is going on the top of off stump. Your challenge is to try and knock that tea bag off the top of off stump. To do it in the least number of balls that you can, we're going to use our overarm bowl. If you hit the stump and it knocks the tea bag off, that's your bronze target. Brilliant if you can do that. If you can hit off stump and knock it over, that's silver. But if you can really stretch yourself and just hit the tea bag off, really big challenge, that is the gold level. So what we want to see is you guys going away using all those skills that we've learned today and practicing our top of off challenge. Okay, and we do say if you can use a Yorkshire tea bag, even better with that one. So go away, practice that. So what I will say is well done, of course, once again to everyone for taking part in today's lesson and for giving it your best across the 3 activities. Lovely to see so many scores and shout outs coming in. Remember, you can keep practicing at home, at school, or in the back garden. And this lesson will be available to watch back on our YouTube channel alongside the other lessons from the previous 3 weeks. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like, subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date. If you want to be in with a chance of being Yorkshire Tea School of the Week, then please remember to send in your pictures and videos to the Chance to Shine Twitter page, so at Chance to Shine, and remember to tag in at Yorkshire Tea as well. We'd love to see you having a go with those videos and photos of our Top of Off challenge. That'd be brilliant. Thanks once again to our coaches, Joe and Rehan. Give us a big wave, guys. Thank you again. And of course, a massive thank you to both Year 3 and Year 4 at Froome Vale. You've been brilliant. You've worked so hard together as a team. You've been brilliant bowlers today. So well done, everyone. Please do join us again. We've got Ferocious Fielder. We're going to be doing our throwing skills next week with Ferocious Fielder. So join us same time, same place next Wednesday for the next instalment of Chance to Shine Live. Keep safe and take care.